Bobby Spencer is one of these characters who I've said has just always been a beacon of hope and of light, because no matter what she goes through in her life that we followed over the course of 30 years, from being brought up in poverty, having to sell her body to survive, to getting married, to domestic violence, to losing her child, to everything she went through, she always overcame in thriving in spite of the obstacles. That is what I think soaps have the ability to do.
Yeah.
But on indie soaps such as The Bay, we see some very, very strong women dealing with some very interesting problems. Is there anything you'd like to share about what some of the mayor's wife's
what's going on?
Struggles might be?
Well, we've just started. The Bay went on like last year. That was, they called it Chapter 1. Now this what we're shooting now. I actually shot my first scenes like 2 weeks ago on Friday. It was really fun. We were on location, and it was like, just fun to be out like in this beautiful yard. We're shooting some wedding. I'm an events planner. Sophie's an events planner. Just fancy wedding, So we have some. I can't give away storyline, but we have. There's a lot of fun, interesting, glamorous stuff. But there's also some relevant social issues that we're going to be dealing with on the show that I really like. So there's something there for everybody. It has some. It's got texture, and it's got depth, and it's got heart, and you're dealing with webisodes. You're dealing with 6-7 minute webisodes, so you got to capture somebody's heart or their allegiance to the show. You got 6 minutes, so it's kind of fun for the audience, because some of it is like very soapy, the cliffhanger, the thing, because it's action packed, it's character, but it's interesting because it's unpredictable what's happening, and that's what I like about it.
And for soap fans, it's also really great to see so many of our favorite stars, such as yourself, such as Nick Coster, Mary Beth Evans, Tristan, the one she mentioned, a lot of your stars that you are being reunited with after these years.
As well as all these new young people that are like awesome, because you need the generation thing. So you need the young, all the kids and the teenagers and the young 20s, and the, you need all that. So we have both, and I think that's all we need to have a successful show.
Now, Nick Coster's been doing soaps for quite a while, yet you two never actually interacted in a show before, right?
Never.
What's it like to work with him?
He's like, my first scenes, he wasn't now. The next time, our next group of scenes, I will actually get to talk with him. We've been to events together, and we've had some publicity pictures taken together, so I've gotten to spend time with him, just to talk to him, to see who he is, or hang out, or all the soap, how they do it, all the events. You do all these pictures where you're like this in the camera. So we've been like all over each other in these pictures for the last couple of days. But I can't wait to actually do scenes with them, because I haven't done a scene with them yet.
How about Mary Beth Evans?
Oh, well, I love her. We worked together on General Hospital.
I remember.
You remember that.
I remember.
But we played as, at that time, because Cassadine, I was in that Cassadine storyline, and Stephen Nichols was on, and he was married to me on the show, and then she came on, and they were trying to do the Kayla Patch revive that audience. It got all schmutzed up in the story, so it was all weird. But but she and I love each other, so we had fun on this thing.
That's so exciting. I love that. It's so exciting. So one thing from the past that we haven't talked about is the experience as a Playboy Bunny. And I ask because there's actually a lot, there's a new show specifically about Playboy bunnies. Wondering if you've seen it.
Of course.
Do you think it's realistic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it wasn't my experience, but I think it's a good show. I'm going to watch it because it's fun. It was fun. What? Did you watch it?
I have not seen it yet.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your experience like as a Playboy bunny?
Great. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
I was 8. I was the youngest bunny they ever hired. I was 18. The day I turned 18, I went in for my interview.
I was like, were you really 18 or did you just tell them you were 18?
I really had to be. I had to show, you had to show your license.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was no fake ID in those days. It was like you had to have a real license. Okay. But I had a friend who was a bartender, Oliver, and he said to me, at the time, in those days I was working in New York, I was modeling and working I was a petite model. I'd work the runway shows, and I'd do the Coliseum car show, whatever. I was an instructor in Elaine Powers figure slut. I was doing a lot of things, making a lot of money, having fun in New York. And he said, you should go into Playboy. And I never thought of myself as a glamour, I was like attractive, but I didn't think of myself as a girl that they would hire at Playboy, because those girls were like, whoa, And so I kind of went over there. You know, it was like really hard for me to go for this interview because I thought, oh, I'm just not in that category. But he's telling me, you know, I got hired. I was like jumping out of my socks. I was so excited.
Wow.
And I had a great experience. I worked for Playboy for 2.5 years.
Wow.
And in addition, I worked in the New York Club, which was great. And in addition to that, did a lot of, you know, in those days, Playboy was expanding. So it was We Magazine, Playboy Movie Theater, the ski resorts. He had a record company. I worked in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Wow.
I was in Nassau. I was third base on the softball team. You know, I was learning about business, publicity, doing the interviews, doing the stuff. So it was very exciting. It was a great opportunity.
Did you party at the mansion?
I loved it. Yeah, but later, I actually, you know, that's the really nice thing about Hugh Hefner. When you work with him or for him, the people that work with him is like family, and he's very loyal, and he keeps these people like for years. Like I still, like over the years, would get invited to the movie night at the Playboy Mansion or the Midsummer Night's Dream party, the pajama parties. And I remember one time I had one of my girlfriends, Phyllis, who was we went to elementary school together in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and we went to NYU together. You know, she's my friend forever. And she was visiting me in my house in California. And the recording, that I had a recording on my phone, and they would call you twice, we'd tell you what the movie was on movie night, Thursdays and Sunday movie night at the mansion, what the movie is. She heard the call come in, and she was like, Jackie, because she says, you ever go to like the Playboy Man? I said, well, yeah, you know, they have the party. Could we go? So we went together.
Wow.
And it was so much fun because here we had been Jersey girls together from the time we were in elementary school. And we were like, hey, this is pretty cool. We're going to that mansion and we're hanging with, you know. So it just goes to show you in life. You think of things when you're young, and then all of a sudden you can attract it to you. You know, to me that was glamorous. And I thought, and there it was, having worked for him. And my dad read Playboy magazine when I was little. I used to look at them and think, oh my God, that's like kind of edgy, forbidden.
Were you ever asked to be in the magazine? Did you ever want
I
to
was
be?
asked. Well, I was in the magazine, but they did a layout on the women of daytime, sexy women of daytime, and I was featured, but in a bathing suit.
Oh, okay.
No boobs, no pubes.
Okay.
So I had a bathing suit, but it was a very sexy picture on my pool. But it was, the nipples were covered like this, and this bottom was covered. They asked me to test for the centerfold when I was young, when I worked there, and. I didn't want to take nude pictures. I was very conservative when I was that age, and I just felt, I said, oh, my dad would be like uncomfortable and I would be uncomfortable, so I wasn't ready for
Did he
that,
still have a
so I didn't
subscription
test.
at that point?
Yeah, he did. And I was 18. I just said, no, I'm not, I don't want to be nude. I didn't want to take nude pictures. So I was never sorry that I didn't do that. But later, you know, and then when he asked me I think I was like, when I finally got in that magazine, I forget what year it was. I forget whether I was in my late 20s or early 30s. To this day, men still come up to me with that picture. I had a green bathing suit. They ask me to sign it all the time. I don't know where they get it. They sell them on the internet or something, but they still have it.
Wow.
That was a long time ago, in the 80s.
Wow. There's so much you have done with your life, from Playboy to General Hospital to Zestra. I mean, there's so much experience here. When are we going to read the Jackie Zeman book? When's the book coming?
It's coming.
You know I want this story.
Yeah, it's kind of right in my head. I am going to do the book. I am. I wrote a baby book and put it on my website, self-published. It's called, Turn Your Acting Talent into a Successful Career. It's just a little book because everybody's always said to me, how do I get on TV? Or what do I tell my son, daughter, mother, sister, brother if they want to get in acting? So I wrote, because I mostly want to see if I could actually sit down and write a book, because I'm not really a writer. I'm
That's
more of
okay.
a talker.
You can get people to help you with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the hard part in doing the book was deciding, do I actually want to write it myself? I mean, I did one book years ago called Beauty on the Go, so I know I can write the book, but I'm not really necessarily that good at writing. It's a lot of work for me. Or you get somebody to help me, so to have all the information, it could do much more quicker. But then that's giving up a lot of control, on how you write it, put it down.
Well, there's ways to do it. We'll talk. Well, there's ways that you can maintain control. Yeah. What else is coming up? What else is coming up for you? What else is ahead?
Well, I've got a lot of travel pins. This has been wonderful working with Zestra because I'm going around like a lot of in-person things. So this is exciting for me because having been in a closed studio with the soaps for so many years, I mean, I've always loved getting out, doing personal appearances, but there wasn't a whole lot of it. Now I'm feeling like all of a sudden, my girls are both in college. I don't have the mommy guilt thing of leaving. I can travel. And here I am in New York. Oh my God, sitting next to Damon on the sofa doing this. And this is like really fun for me. I love this. I love this
too.
So there's more of this is what I want.
Wow.
And then I'll go back. I'll do the shooting, for the soap. I'll do the Bay because I'm liking that. I'm going to work on the book. And right now,
Any general hospital scenes coming up?
Not to my knowledge. Nothing that I'm booked for.
Okay.
So that I don't know. They have that Garen Wolf, the new writer.
Right.
Goose is gone. I don't know what he's going to do with the show. I don't know if obviously they haven't called me, so there's no story there now. I don't know where it's going, where the show is going. If they
I don't think they know either.
Maybe they don't know or they haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
Yeah. I would love to see Bobby back. I'd love to see Lucas back. There was so much there that didn't get told about gay disappeared Lucas.
When they did those scenes,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, when they came out with that Lucas was gay, I had so many people come up to me going, oh my God, people wanted more of those scenes.
Yeah.
And they didn't run, I think it was, again, it's like we were saying with the network thing started. How are we going to do it? What are we allowed to put on? What are we comfortable putting on? They didn't show it. And they started to. The first couple times people come up going, it was so real. I had so many guys coming up. Oh my God, those scenes were on today. When I came out, it was just like that. You were just like my mother. I mean, I knew they got it right because these guys were coming up to me telling me how much they loved it. And then the show got scared or something and they got off it. It's the
21st century, folks.
I know, it's the 21st century. It's
Come
really
on.
disappointing when they do that because it's like teasing the audience and then it was a letdown to everybody.
Yeah.
So,
And there was so much family drama there with Bobby, with Lou, with the Spencers. I mean, everything could have. Anyways.
So maybe they'll get some guts up now.
Maybe they'll get some
They
got nothing to lose.
Everybody's
at this
getting
point.
canceled. You got to do something. So maybe they'll go there.
Exactly.
To a more honest.
Where can we learn more about Zestra? For people watching this, people who are curious and want to learn more about Zestra, how do they do that?
Oh, that's Zestra.com.
Zestra.com.
Zestra.
Zestra.com. So they're going to learn more about Zestra.
More about Zestra. Me, I'm on the website, all over the website, talking about it. We have a commercial we're launching. We were in Dallas shooting. That was really fun. New commercials coming out. And I'll be around doing appearances. It'll be announced talking about it with different women's groups and stuff coming up. So.
And if people want to keep track of your appearances or if they're wondering if you're coming to a city near them, will that be on Zestra.com?
That'll be on Zestra.com.
Okay.
And I'll probably put some stuff on JacklynZeman.com. But Zestra would be the first place to go because they have the most current. I'm on Twitter now. Oh my God.
Are you? Oh my God. I didn't know that. I'm going to start following you.
And Damon, I'm going to get a big girl phone that actually does email on the phone. Oh my God. Oh my God. I said to my daughter Lacey, okay, we got to do this when you come home from college for the weekend because I can't have a phone that's going to ring and I won't know how to answer it.
You want to be in the middle of a Broadway play and have that happen. Trust me. Yeah. They don't like it.
They would kill you, right?
They will, yeah. So you want to be able to do that. But that's exciting. So Twitter, again, is a great opportunity where you get to speak your mind, uncensored. You get to say what you want, help women, take responsibility and ownership of their bodies, of their spirit, of their sexuality, and you can just put it directly out there to them without any filter.
That's right.
Right?
It got to be, and if I'm going to go out and talk the talk, I got to walk the walk. So that's my way of staying with it and young and changing those little neural nets in my brain to say, okay, I can keep up with what's going on.
Well, that's one thing I always give you credit for is that you do walk the walk. You talk the talk, you walk the walk, you remain authentic and you remain real. And I think that really shows in the way you live your life and the way you speak about everything you speak about. It's with integrity and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Damon. Well, you do the same. So it
I'm
takes one
working
to
on
know
it.
one. You
All
do.
right.
You always have since I know you. So
Thank you.
It's a nice
Thank
thing.
you. All right, Jacklyn Zeman on We Love Soaps TV. Thank you for watching.